seen green beans. That's from 2 of my teepees for my climbing beans. The variety on top is Blue Lake and the variety underneath is Cobra. But now I might can these, I might just freeze them. But that'll do for today. This is the climbing French beans that I harvested yesterday, and some more I've done this morning. So they've been soaking in some vinegar water, so now I'm going to rinse them off and put them in jars and can them, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. Right, I've been preparing other things I need. I've now, there's about 4 pounds in weight of green beans, and all I've done is snap them into about 1.5 inch pieces, something like that, because it's very easy to do the next bit. Well, to can them, I have got some jars that have been sitting in hot water, and now it's just a case of filling them. You want to fill them up to 1 inch head space. And that's possibly it. You might have to readjust once you put some water in. So I'll just do these 2 on camera, and then I'll do the rest off camera. Don't ram them down, but try and get them in as best you can. Right, now you get some boiling water. Do you bubble? I use a chopstick. I find it gets really well down there. Now, although it was boiling water that was put in here, the beans have cooled it down slightly, so it's just very warm water. So that's why I've got a Mikana. And I'm just testing the head space, and that is 1 inch. And that one could do with a touch more. I'll do them both. Check the head space again. 1 inch. 1 inch. Now there's nothing really apart from beans and water that have been in proximity with the top, but won't hurt to use some vinegar just in case. And it gives you another opportunity to test whether there's cracks around the top. And that's it. Let's get my tattlers. Tatler on. Ring on, but as soon as it starts moving, that's the correct amount you need. Ow. And that's the same. And I'll put these in the can. I'll put more jars up and come back to you. Sorry, I didn't realise my camera wasn't running at the time. I filled it up with the jars. There was the correct amount of water for this canner. Now, I could tell you exactly what it is, but your canner may be different, so check your manual. And this is my manual that I use all the time, and in fact this recipe is in my manual. So I put the lid on and let it come up so that what's jiggling now, there's a vent underneath that, and it was when it was doing a steady stream of steam. I then put my timer on for 10 minutes so it could vacate everything out of the canner, and during those 10 minutes the stop valve thing at the back, that came up, so you can't actually open it until that goes down, because that is up because there's pressure in there. It's a pressure canner. So when it had done its 10 minutes of venting, I put this weighted pressure gauge on. I don't bother checking the dial because this is telling me. So instead of it being visual, it's audible, which is better for me. And it's a £10 weight on there. If you're doing just with your normal regulator, it's £11 of pressure. But this tells me I'm on the right track. So I put that weighted pressure gauge on, and when it started jiggling like that, I lowered the temperature and me flame below the canner slightly and put my timer on for 20 minutes because that's what the book says it needs. That's the timer going off now. So when that came to a jiggle like it is now, then that's when I start timing. You don't time your processing time at any other point, and I forgot to. That's it. And you can see it's slowing now. Slowly. But what you've got to do now is leave it completely alone. Don't try and put cloths on it, cold water or anything like that. Just leave it on its own to come down in pressure, and you'll hear this drop down, which is a sign that there's no pressure in there. When that's gone down, you can take your gauge off, weighted pressure gauge, like I'm using, a jiggler other people call it. Take that off, and I'll come back to you when this camera is at that point. It is now 16:34, which is 16:35, which is 25 to 5, and we'll see how long this takes. Right, it is now exactly 5 o'clock, so it's taken 25 minutes for that to drop, so there's no pressure in it. So you can safely take that off and keep it there. Now just carefully crack it open. And then I like to get my oven gloves because some steam can come out at the sides and burn your hands, but look, try to lift it away from you. And then I just put it on sideways, and that helps to let some of the steam out. And I'll be screwing my tattle lids down, well, taking them out in about 5 minutes, screw my tattle lids down, and then I'll show you what it's like. There they all are, 3 6 pint jars and 1 half pint jar, because there wasn't enough for a pint jar and there was just a little bit too much for a half pint jar. So these are going on my salad now tonight. It was a bit longer than 5 minutes that they sat in the open canner, because I was sorting out Mighty and Mason's food as well. But just leave them on your counter out of drafts. So I'm going to shut my back door now and leave them till the following day, and then clean them down, take the rings off, clean them down and put them on your shelves.